Well. Despite Critical Drinker's very negative review and very deceptive review, I should add, yeah, Predator just had its best, like the best box office ever in its entire 40-year history. It reached a high point with the box office being 80 million. Now, by the time this video comes out, that will be an estimate. So we have to wait technically till Tuesday to get the final numbers. So it could be as high as 85 million or 75 million, which would still be very respectable. So the numbers are going to be off a little bit, like a million, 2 million, 3 million. Still, if it's around 80 million, that would still be incredibly impressive. Again, the Predator films are not Star Wars. They're not expected to make $1 billion. So these numbers are in line with what's normal, but it is above average for this series of films. And you can go to my review. I've already put it up. I will say that the film itself was pretty good and above average. So I do appreciate that quality is being rewarded. However, fair warning if you're a hardcore Predator fan, and it will go two ways because they do things from the comics. And I've read a few of the Predator comics, but not a lot of them. So you may enjoy the Easter eggs. However, other hardcore Predator fans who only see the movies will be disappointed that it's a little bit too light. So it is a hard PG-13. There is a lot of blood, it's a lot of death, it's a lot of violence, but the tone is slightly more light than the usual thing with the Predator. So just fair warning if you want to support the film. So how do we make out all this online hatred from the usual right-wing grifters? And again, to give Critical Drinker and Mahler credit, this is actually a movie they saw. A lot of times they'll just talk about movies. They didn't even see it. Like they had on Razor Fist talking about Badlands. He didn't even see the film. So I was like, okay. So we're talking extraordinary lazy criticisms, but there are things to be critical of. But yeah, the audiences have spoken. At least for now, Predator Badlands by a lot is getting a lot of fan love, and the YouTube channels that cover Predator and Aliens more regularly also prove it. Like Mr. H reviews, I was pretty shocked that he was fairly honest and gave it his endorsement. He liked it. He said he doesn't want to see any more of this, but he did appreciate that they flipped the tables. Right, we have the Predator as the protagonist, and there we go. So at least the channels with credibility on Predator lore pretty much all like this. They do have criticisms, but Pink King and a few others, yeah, it is a solid film. I've seen it myself. So what is the problem? I don't know. A lot of these clickbait titles don't even make sense. For instance, and again, I'm not going to do any spoilers, but some are claiming that Deck is gay. That is not in the film, or that there's any gay. There is not, or there's a romance between Deck and the end. There's not. So a lot of these are just people are just lying. They're just straight up lying. And Brinker says he saw the film, but the way he talks about it is like he's really distorting what happened. So I'm a little nervous where they're going to go next. I've heard good things about Killer of Killers. I'm going to check that out. He has hinted, right, the director Dan Trachtenberg, if this is successful, he will do something else with, yes, Arnold Schwarzenegger. That is the dream, to get Arnold back into the film series, which would make sense to do like a full circle, like he's in one of the final films. Maybe they're going to reboot it. Right, canonically, where the Predators are is a little bit all over the place. Like the things they do here, again, it's not a spoiler. Yes, they link this up to the Alien universe. They've done this for a while, but does this mean that the AVPs are canonical? I've never thought they were canonical, so I kind of ignored them. So I'll try to catch up. So it's definitely we're entering some weird space, and the idea apparently is to get Arnold and some of the other actors from the other films, maybe even Danny Glover, and of course the actress who was in Prey, right, Amber, have them in a kind of Avengers Endgame. Again, that's the rumor. I cannot verify that, but given out that the box office is pretty good, unless Dan wants to do a different movie, we're probably going to get another Alien Predator movie. Will it be well done though? I don't know. I mean, I think Badlands was good, but it is a drop in quality, a huge drop in quality from Prey. Prey had way more practical effects. I think it looked better. The narrative was stronger, but that is my opinion. But it is definitely getting a lot of fan love. It's getting incredibly good ratings, not just in terms of the critic score is high, but the audience score is off the charts with Rotten Tomatoes. Also, cinema score also very, very high. So people are seeing it and recommending it. So by far, the vast majority of Predator fans are very happy. Will they be happy to support it next week? We'll have to wait and see. So unless it has a huge drop off, it is a success. It may only make a little bit of profit theatrically, but this is a massive success for the Predator series. But now let's get into Sydney Sweeney, who is her Sweeneys are not Sweeney enough. So her new drama sports underdog film where she gained 30 pounds, huge sacrifice, is making less than $2 million. And she is the star. There's no doubt she's putting her name on this. She's promoting this. She's all in on this, and it's not going anywhere. So it could just be that people just like Sydney in a few genres. They're willing to see her in a romantic comedy or an action film. But then Madame Web didn't do that well. Although people forget, it actually did do okay box office at first, right? People have this whole revision. It made zero money. No, it made a little bit of money. So Sydney was prominent there too, and that's, I guess, superhero thriller action. Some people were curious, saw her. Way more than this. Way more than this. So is it an issue with the studio, the production company? Like the director is a good director. I've not seen many of his films, but apparently this is sort of a letdown. Like he had some stronger films before this. So the critics are kind of like mixed, and the fandom is kind of mixed. So there we go. And again, I don't really do too many political commentaries when I discuss, strictly speaking, the fandom box office stuff. However, we have to talk about the Gene controversy that Sydney was wrapped up in this weird alt right Gene campaign. And again, this is her decision. She refused to talk about it. She's like, I'm not going to denounce it. I'm not going to get into it. I don't want to talk about it. Okay. And that is her stance. And some people are saying, I've checked out the comments, that they are judging her on this and think that she's a white supremacist or white nationalist. She's definitely very conservative. She's definitely outed herself as a conservative. She did that very prominently, and it's not paying off. It's not paying off. So if she expected the MAGA people to make up for the loss of the liberals, it's not working. So it will have a few more weeks. Again, I think we should be supporting independent small films, but this doesn't look too remarkable. I'm going to give the trailer another chance, but it looked pretty pretty bland. It looked pretty bland. It does feel like a ripoff of Rocky, but not really improving on the source material. So there you go. But this is based on a true story. Apparently, there's a documentary on this woman. She did suffer apparently in real life, so it's a very devastating, very disturbing story of trauma and pain and abuse. However, was it a good film? So far, yeah, most critics and most fans are like, no. And Sydney is big. I mean, she's gotten so big just this last year. I mean, her name recognition is massive. It's massive. And I remember seeing some behind the scenes photos on this where she was taking pictures and being very, very happy, smiling about getting in the ring and training. So, yeah, but again, this happens. Even big stars like Robert De Niro, Leonardo DiCaprio, not all their quote smaller drama films make money. So, it's a give and take. Still, I have heard some good things about this, but yeah, this is pretty shocking low box office. So it will be a flop. There's no way they can recover, but hopefully some fans will come out to support Sydney. I mean, I like her despite her politics, but yeah, this is bad. This is real bad. So it's a massive flop. So it's interesting dialectic that Predator is doing really well, and a lot of thanks to Prey. Prey really restored a lot of hopes for the fans that the series was going to be on an uptick. Because you got to be honest, the last couple Predators, oof, Predators and the Predators or whatever, the 2018 one was, yeah, they were disappointing. They were disappointing. So definitely Predator seems to be recovering, but Sydney Sweeney, either Sydney needs to pick her scripts more carefully, or yeah, I don't know. Maybe her brand name does not translate into box office. She can sell soap and she can sell jeans, but no movie tickets apparently not. And she did have a massive hit with Glenn Powell, so I don't know. Maybe it was the Glenn factor. Well, wait and see, because Glenn is going to have a film without her. So if Running Man does really well, maybe only when they both pair up in a movie they can have box office magic. But otherwise, yeah, when Sydney goes solo, not much box office, at least so far.